Last week, CIG delivered several patches to the evocati full of bug fixes for Alpha 3.24. Inside Starison showcased more updates heading our way in 3.24, and the roadmap revealed some epic additions for 4.0 that were a massive surprise. As we count down the days to CitizenCon, 4.0 will have more features in it than before, and each week will have even more content delivered during Inside Starison that will prevent the content drought from happening this year. If you love to discuss the game's future and enjoy seeing all of the great sim gear and peripherals on the market, smash that like button and consider supporting the channel by clicking the subscribe button so you can stay informed. Welcome back to Last Week in the Verse. Now, while 3.24 still hasn't been released to Wave 1 at the time of recording this video, CIG is still heavily focusing on stamping out many of the bugs in the upcoming patch. On Tuesday, they released their first patch. The developers completed work on shard stowing for persistent hangars. Now, when you move between different shards, or if you encounter a crash, your hangar state will be preserved. This will prevent you from losing the progress that you've made or the state of your hangar setup. This is a huge quality of life improvement that should make managing your hangars a lot more seamless. They improved the grace period for towing an owned vehicle by extending its duration. Previously, if you were trying to tow a vehicle that was owned, you'd end up with a crime stat. But now you have a generous 10-second window before that happens. This change is all about giving you a bit more breathing room, which will be great when you ultimately start cleaning up armistice zones. They also focused on a range of bugs and issues that were addressed to enhance gameplay, such as personal hangars not opening, being teleported, flying, or quantum jumping, issues with ATC gateway queue messages stacking in instance hangars, which would cause players to be trapped, along with improvements to instance transitions between hangars and the persistent universe. The update also tackled more issues with docking arms not extending, automatic doors failing to open, and the usability of tractor beams inside of freight elevators, and various other issues. On Thursday's patch, they added new light amplification optics, which are essentially night vision. These have been added to certain NPC loadouts across the persistent universe. So perhaps we can now expect the NPCs to be quite a bit more challenging to deal with in dark environments once server meshing arrives in 4.0. Moving on to the law system, there was a notable update regarding towing. The hostility from towing will now be directed only at the owner of the ship being towed. There's also a new countdown warning before towing hostility is applied. This will give you a bit of a buffer to address any issues before things get heated. In the ships and vehicles section, there was a slight adjustment to the Anvil Hornet series, with the acceleration and speeds having been reduced. This will hopefully balance its performance and provide a smoother flying experience. Several significant bug fixes were also addressed with personal hangars, including the fix for elevators despawning and leaving players out of bounds, and problems where entering a pad would teleport you away. They made refinements to mission and cargo handling, and addressed issues with selling cargo from auto-load orders. This should now allow you to be able to buy and sell cargo without incorrect messages about manual delivery to the freight elevator. They resolved some graphical and frame rate issues that caused reduced performance as well. And finally, on Friday, there have been some further adjustments to the cargo auto-loading timer. The development team has been continually fine-tuning this mechanic to enhance balance, and it looks like we can even expect more tweaks in the future. These updates aim to streamline the cargo loading process, making it smoother and more efficient. But as this is ongoing, keep an eye out for additional improvements as they continue to refine this system. On the core tech front, there was a significant update to ultra-wide UI scaling. Previously, scaling was based on the width of your screen. Now it's going to be based on the height, and it will be relative to a 16:9 aspect ratio. This change should enhance the visual consistency of the UI across different screen sizes and resolutions, making your interface look sharp and well proportioned no matter what kind of display you're using. This is great news for those of us who use an ultra-wide. They also had several key fixes and potential improvements that have been introduced to enhance the gameplay, with your hangars saving their state, so your entire hangar isn't reset if the server crashes or you migrate to another shard. And an issue with the personal hangar elevators despawning and leaving players out of bounds was also addressed. It seems as if CIG is really trying to deliver a ton of bug fixes for Alpha 3.24, and given how many bug fixing reports I've been reading since the patch went into evocati, it gives me a bit more hope for when 4.0 is released. CIG appears to be committed in more than a few ways to deliver a better experience once 3.24 rolls out, but we'll have to wait and see what it's like when it goes to the live servers. In this week's episode of Inside Starison, the focus was on the upcoming Alpha 3.24 release, currently in testing and still highly anticipated by many. The discussion kicked off with an exploration of personal persistent hangars that will allow players to store, organize, and access their items more efficiently. Chad McKinney provided an in-depth look at how these hangars, along with freight elevators, will enhance the gameplay experience by streamlining cargo management and improving accessibility to smaller items through item banks. Now, while item banks could possibly complicate our inventory, I'm hoping that they listen to feedback and implement a character screen into the personal inventory and item bank UI, so that we can equip our items from the item bank and cut out a whole separate screen. Now, personal hangars are highlighted as the first true form of property ownership within the game, offering you a customizable space to call your own. These hangars not only serve as storage, but will enable you to personalize and protect your belongings. The removal of armistice zones from hangars will finally allow you to defend yourselves without penalties, adding a layer of security and realism to the game. You'll finally be able to showcase your items, such as firearms and ship components, making your hangar feel more like a personal base. On top of this, anyone trespassing in your hangar will automatically be kicked out after 30 seconds. Now, this could potentially require more adjustment, at least in Stanton, so that players don't cause more issues in hangars. The episode also delved into the logistics of cargo loading and unloading, both manually and automatically. You'll soon have the flexibility to choose how you manage your inventory, whether it's by manually transferring items to your ship or utilizing local services for automatic loading. This new system is designed to save time and streamline the process, allowing for more efficient trading and transportation of goods. The introduction of these features marks a significant shift in how cargo operations are conducted in the game. Now, it could cause the game to be more complex and slow down our gameplay. However, many of these will need to be constantly adjusted as time goes on to get it to a better state that doesn't make it more of a time sink than what's required. In addition to these advancements, the episode introduced improved inventory management tools, including search functionality within item banks and freight elevators. This enhancement will allow you to quickly locate and retrieve your items, making inventory management more intuitive and user-friendly. These quality of life improvements are aimed at addressing long-standing player feedback and enhancing the overall gameplay experience. I'm extremely happy that they finally implemented a search feature into the inventory system, as it's been needed for some time. Finally, the episode emphasizes the broader vision for the future, with personal hangars being just the beginning. Future updates will include more customization options and expanded ownership possibilities, such as base building and persistent habs. The changes in Alpha 3.24 represent a major step forward in player immersion and control within the Star Citizen universe, paving the way for more dynamic and personalized gameplay experiences. The latest roadmap update for Alpha 4.0 introduces some exciting new features. One of the highlights is the RSI Zeus Mark II CL, the cargo variant of the Zeus. This ship will finally be balanced and fully implemented into the game in the next patch, offering players new opportunities for teamwork and cargo transport. Another major addition is the implementation of two new cave archetypes, acidic caves and rock caves. These caves will appear in both the Pyro and Stanton systems, each with its own unique atmosphere. The acidic caves will feature luminous pools and striking stalactites and stalagmites, creating a captivating environment for exploration, FPS missions, and missing person quests. Meanwhile, the rock caves will be illuminated by bioluminescent mushrooms, providing a distinct and visually stunning setting for similar activities. Now, if they could just find a way to implement more missions into these caves, they'd be a great experience overall. They added asteroid bases, which will be scattered across various locations in the Pyro system. These bases are designed to offer diverse gameplay from exploration to mission-based activities. Players can expect to engage in intense FPS conflicts within the constrained interiors and face space combat challenges as they navigate to and from these bases. In addition to these asteroid bases, Alpha 4.0 will introduce contested zones within Pyro's space stations. These zones are specifically crafted for FPS gameplay and will feature unique layouts to enhance tactical combat. Players will need to collect tokens to progress through different areas, ultimately unlocking access to valuable loot. Now, this progression system supposedly adds a strategic layer to the gameplay, encouraging players to plan their moves carefully and work together to achieve their objectives. I really hope that this means this will be the beginning of getting some meaningful rewards in these areas. I'm especially excited about the addition of asteroid bases and contested zones that will hopefully not only provide new environments for us to explore, but also introduce fresh challenges and opportunities for strategic gameplay. With these enhancements, Alpha 4.0 aims to offer an even more engaging and diverse adventure for all players. With the spotlight on the eagerly awaited Alpha 3.24, which is still in testing, hopefully we can see Wave 1 access sometime this week. These hangars will allow us to store, organize, and access our items more efficiently, adding a new layer of customization and ownership. While some believe that it will complicate things, I think they'll slowly begin to make it better over time. Removing the armistice restriction from our hangars will be a positive change that will allow us to protect all of the items from other players that will sneak into our hangars, and there seems to be tons of more bug fixing for 3.24. Now over the next 6 weeks, we'll be seeing tons of content come out with each Inside Star Citizen, starting with them showing off contested stations and asteroid bases this week, which I'm very much looking forward to. They'll also have an episode on the fire propagation system next week, followed by the Pyro social experience, a ship showdown, fighting in Pyro, and an Inside Star Citizen on engineering, life support, creatures, the Zeus, and the new MFDs. While I was concerned with content drought as we get closer to CitizenCon, I am glad that they are finally acknowledging the content drought during the summer, and it will be nice to see all of these systems each week. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and let me know what you think of the upcoming Inside Star Citizen episode and what you're looking forward to most before CitizenCon, as I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you're interested in seeing what I believe CIG needs to focus on starting with 4.0, then you'll want to check out this video. Fly safe, pilots, and we'll see you in the next video. Havoc out.